Hello, and welcome to the daily political tarot and astrology here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. I am here literally every single day of the year. Bye-bye, boo-boo. To take your political questions out of the chat. Just leave your questions in the chat before I come on. We have got epic troll slayers who have kept us safe for years. Thank you. And we have got a fantastic community because you have been so kind to each other and so kind to us. Thank you. And if you're watching on replay, hello. You can go down in the description box. All the questions are listed there. It's Sarah Thursday.
Hello.
And Miss Sarah will be timestamping as we go along. Thank you. So you can pick and choose what you're interested in, or you can watch back on a higher speed, or whatever works best for you. So, hello. I have internet. I have the interwebs. Yes, yay. I do. It's back, and here we are. But because of that, because I literally spent the entire morning working on that. The entire morning. I have no idea what's going on. Not a clue. Miss Sarah has saved my bacon once again.
Hello. All right. And yes, I'm sorry yesterday that I was not here either. We had funky weather. So actually, while you guys were on yesterday, we had tornadoes. We're safe. Everyone's safe. But and there were no casualties or anything like that. But there was some spin ups and some really funky straight line wind that had my internet out. Oh, goodness.
Sorry.
You're good. You okay?
Oh, I'm fine. As long as it's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, cool beans. So, yes, it was just one of those. It was a day. It was a day ending in day. But guess what? It's a new day. And we've got this.
Yes.
So, let's dive in, shall we?
It is Thursday, just so you know.
Yes, it is Thursday. I know, I'm throwing you off. Jan says, greetings from Arizona. What a great segue, because at 2 minutes and 25 seconds in. Now, y'all, please correct me. Adelita Grijalva. She had her victory on Tuesday in a special House election in southern Arizona and is sending another Democrat to Capitol Hill. Secures the 218th signature on the discharge petition that needed to release the Epstein files.
Yes.
Now, according to The Hill, this could be as soon as October 20th. So, are we looking at the files actually being released?
Do you know how much pressure is going to come down on the Republicans who were agreeing to back out? By the way, that statue of Trump and Epstein frolicking on the mall was removed.
No.
As quick as it was put up. You and I talked about something absolutely, utterly vile that the president of these United States had said.
Yeah, that's coming up.
Look, it's right there. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, this is voting. This is literally my card of making a decision about the legislature. This is my voting card. That's a card for the reading. And we've got them. This is usually the guy sitting there with all the cups behind him. Here they are. All the votes we need. 7 of Pentacles. Fruits of labor. There are some Republicans. There's the country and womanhood. Big old justice card. America, justice. And then adding insult to injury. So what happens is that whatever the dumpster fire says about this is going to make everything worse for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some of you in chat are y'all are good, doing well with the segues today, are mentioning that you're seeing where the files had been moved and possibly destroyed. And that leads us into the next question. Cosmic Go Lady said, did Trump have the physical Epstein file shredded?
See, it's not impossible.
No.
It is unlikely. But I can't just sit here and go, no, come on.
Oh, I've learned with this administration, we don't say no, come on. There's
Debsy says they're digital files. Oh, heck yeah. But no, he's a fool. Would he? Come on. He would need his flunkies to do it. He's not going to sit out there with the shredding yeeting it into some kind of fire furnace left over from the 1940s that uses blue coal. Pennsylvania's finest anthracite. Anyway, that, by the way, blue coal was a sponsor of the original Shadow radio program.
Very cool.
That's why I joke about blue coal dyed a harmless blue dye to know you're getting quality. And I'm just thinking, oh my gosh.
No, I don't.
What was
I don't think that word means what you think it means there, Mom.
Yeah. Whew, okay. Day late and a dollar short, full, kind of running off of something, a metaphorical cliff. Absolute isolation. Trump's communication and his flunkies in the DOJ. Here's the thing. If, and this is entertainment only YouTube, this is a complete hypothetical we're talking about here. Right? If there was something, if there were things in the full Epstein files that were an absolute smoking gun, absolute smoking gun, unquestionable, nobody could ever, right. You think the DOJ is going to do anything? Becca from House of Lenormand is here. Hello, Becca.
Hello.
Do follow House of Lenormand. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good. You're good. Anytime we talk about shredding, there was a comedian, for those who remember the blue collar comedy guys back in the early 2000s, late 90s. There's one of them called Ron White, and he was talking about how the first time he went to DC, he was just shocked by how many mobile shredder units there were. Like the shred, he's like, it's like mobile evidence getter ridder-evers. And so every time we talk about mass shredding, it's like, let's hire the mobile evidence getter ridder-ever.
I like that. That's good.
All right. Now, so Trump continues to say that we should just let the Epstein thing go.
Yeah. What? No. Why? Tell me. Why would he say that?
Well, he wants us to understand that Palm Beach in the 90s was a different time.
Oh.
So, I don't even know. Is he going to get away with this? Is he going to... I've pledged every time I come on here to not use wordy dirts.
I just did. I just muted and I just said multiple.
I'm not that fast with the mute button, so I'm really just trying to bite my tongue.
Oh, there we go. Thank you, Shauna. Minors are minors regardless of the decade. Yep. Institutions. Look, I And I'm still stuck on the fact that this man has gotten away with so much. Absolutely so much. So very, very much. So there's a part of me that's like, why would this be any different? We've already heard atrocious things. We've already, oh, thank you, Laura, gifted 5 memberships to random people in the chat. Thank you so much. It really helps. So part of me is like, why do I keep picking up on such fear? Thank you, Sharon. Thank you so much. Thank you. He gets away with everything. He's gotten away with everything, rather. So why do I get this like chills of fear?
Is it the people around him? Because he may be able to get away with it, but his other people can't. He's only got one get out of jail free card.
Okay, here's the thing. All right. Heinousness. There's no question what Epstein did. Nothing. No question. Excuse me. 1 second. Oh, excuse me. Thank you. Sorry. We're not letting this go. We're not. This is one singular thing right here. We are not letting this go. The files exist. They're right there. The fruits of labor, it's right there. Yeah. All of it. 10 of Swords for the man, not the emperor, the man. So thank you. I don't know why. I don't know what could be in there that would wake up the cult. That would actually get him in trouble. But the cards say, oh yeah, and there's real fear. He has real fear about this. And I'm just like, let's hope so.
Well, again, with the segs, you were talking about how he gets away with so much, like literally so much has come out. So Cosmic Goat Lady was wondering, will the Wall Street Journal get the defamation case dropped due to Trump's history? You said it's Popak?
Yeah.
Okay. Popak seems to think so. I was watching his video that Cosmic Goat Lady shared. And here's the thing. The Wall Street Journal has put forth a motion to dismiss the whole case. And this is concerning the birthday book that Trump's like, oh, no, it's defaming me, blah, 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 blah. Well, the House has already determined that is his signature.
Yeah.
There is no leg to stand on. And then as far as his reputation on the Wall Street Journal is like, it's so low that this isn't going to hurt him. In fact, let us submit, this evidence. And they submitted the Access Hollywood tapes. They submitted the verdict from E. Jean Carroll. They've submitted everything that he said about women. They're like, what's the point? How is this hurting him? He has to prove that this hurts him. He's this vile. So, will the case be dropped?
Well, the thing is that I understand Wall Street Journal might want to save money and what have you, but wouldn't you want discovery?
Well, that's the thing. If not, then they go into discovery, which I don't think Trump wants. I kind of wish they would go into discovery, but yeah.
He's a bully. He thinks he can do anything he wants.
That he does.
Waiting for his ship to come in. This does not feel completely, it is different, but it doesn't feel completely different from the fact that he's so frustrated because he keeps trying to get his political enemies arrested. And his flunkies can't pull it off. So he's waiting for the ship to come in. And how much money he got from ABC? 15 million or something?
I think it was like 16, I think. Yeah, 15, 16, yeah.
Now, there is a decision there, but it ends in the tower. So, in other words, go ahead, Trump. Go ahead. Go ahead. Push it. Push the judge to keep this going. Because...
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hang on, let me see.
Okay.
Yeah, he's hoping he can get something out of this. And that was the plan, but whoop. Hang on. Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords can be a judge.
Okay.
Throwing this out, but there keeps being something at the end. Like, that should be the end. They have a plan, and no. But there's something here. And I wonder, I wouldn't think the Wall Street Journal would then countersue, but there's something here. He should not have done this. The fool should not have done this.
If he hadn't learned by now, he's not going to learn.
No, he is not.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
All right. It's 1640. All right, y'all. It appears that a government shutdown is imminent. Trump canceled his meeting today with Schumer and Jeffries. Senate Dems have said they cannot vote for any House-passed government funding bill if the GOP leaders refuse to sit down and talk with them. Republicans say there's nothing to negotiate. That's the bill. Take it or leave it. Trump says if that Dems won't capitulate, he will order mass firings in the government. Schumer says, homie, you've been firing people since day one. Bring it. We're not scared. And since it's going to blow back on Trump anyway, Schumer says. So who will ultimately bend? Because somebody is going to cave. Yes, Joyce. Jeffries did write a strongly worded letter, which pretty much said, no, you're horrible for this. But we're not bowing down.
There's something about this energy that's making me feel a little queasy, which is odd. Sorry, it's taking me a minute.
No, you're good.
I'm not feeling great about this. In the past, we had a government.
Oh, Lordy.
Okay, the center of this is basically everything going dark. Or most things going dark.
Right.
Hanging above this, it's a big deal. It's a big deal, and there's the extremism, and it's not like Democrats invented this. At the base, we have people fighting on MSNBC. They were talking about if Republicans won't negotiate, if Democrats go along with the budget as is, say there are subsidies that are going to go away. Healthcare subsidies are going to just vanish. And they're saying if you have a couple who make, let's say, $60,000, $70,000 a year, they would currently be paying about $7,000 a year for their healthcare premiums and stuff. Without those subsidies, it goes up to more than $21,000.
Yep.
And then because of some other related stuff, it goes closer to $25,000. And it's so Democrats are fighting for the people. And these people are adding insult to injury. Home environment, ouch. What other people see? Republicans are giving all that money to the super, super wealthy. Corporate handouts.
Mm-hmm.
The challenge is the chaos. They, on the other side, they, like Trump and his ilk, they live in chaos. They want chaos.
Yes.
They're happy with chaos. But Eight of Pentacles is traditionally a card of working. And there's out in the cold. This is the near future. And this doesn't have to be the government shutting down. I was sending Sarah some pictures of the price of meat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm vegan, so I had, these are pictures I ran across.
Right.
But there are people going hungry.
Mm-hmm.
There are people without medication, and it's just going to get worse and worse. In the end, I've got Trump the man. I've got an Ace of Swords, and there's the country. So I want some clarification on this. But I don't like that chaos, and I don't like how much people are already suffering. Because, I don't know, I have a conscience and empathy and things like that, and I'm not a monster.
Yeah. I mean, even when we were doing our grocery budget last week, we had to trim back vastly on any beef at all, because ground beef is well over $6 a pound, even for the fatty stuff where we're at. That's ground beef. So it's like, oh.
How much did it used to be?
At one point in time, it was between you can get it between 2 and 3 on sale. So, yeah.
Democrats are sticking together. That's what we wanted, to try to create temperance. And those are moderate Republicans who are already getting an earful from their constituents about prices and services, and I don't have great energy on this. Joyce says, I just saw a jar of mayo for $16.
Mm-hmm.
Laura says, my local food pantry no longer gives out meat.
Yeah. There's something that Becca was bringing up in chat that might be worth looking at.
Okay.
All 5 Nordic countries have announced that they intend to arrest Netanyahu if he enters their airspace or lands in their country. There is no airspace available for him to reach New York. He has also decided to take on China, so he can't go that way either. Yeah.
Why couldn't he go straight across the Mediterranean and then up the Atlantic? And if they're Nordic country, but okay, all right, yeah, sure. Netanyahu, talk about a monster. And for the record, I don't have any problem at all with Jewish people as a whole. Zero. People are people. People are individuals. Doesn't matter what your skin color is, what your religion is, what your political views are. It doesn't matter. You're either a nice person or you're not. And that has nothing to do with this other stuff. And I just want that on the record. Oh, ideas in the flow. Thank you. Quick note, most of the beef in the U.S. actually comes from South America. That's why it's become more expensive. Okay. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, ideas in the flow. Thank you. I do not watch South Park, but I'm glad. Yeah, you've got a blankie back there. He's like, but I want the blankie over here now. Yeah, he needs to stay home. Can you hear this patheticness?
Oh, yeah.
It's the end of the world as you know it, and I feel fine. Yeah. Blankie. All right, here's your blankie. There you go. Netanyahu was a scumbag. It's good that the countries are finally stepping up and saying, no. All that brutality. Yeah, he needs to stay home. Yeah, he would. Yeah, you need to stay home. And I've got the hermit card underneath that. So yeah.
Catherine, usually if it's something, if a question is here that I have pulled up, that I've curated, I've got the link with it. So I usually start with Raw Story, Daily Beast, The Hill, Politico, and then I cross-reference things. So, because you can't always take it at face value.
That's adorable, Mimi.
Yeah.
Little wee siren. Just had a quick look. Yeah, inside his own country, he's sitting pretty. He's safe there. Yeah, you're not welcome there. You're not welcome, like at the UN or anywhere. No. And this is normally this card has a lot of clouds. Delusion. But there's the world, which is, it's not just there. I have a feeling there are some other countries that if he stepped foot in that are not saying anything now, I think there are other countries that would. Yeah, he's a monster.
Yeah. All right. At 28:15. Lewis brought up that Colombian President Gustavo Petro said before the UN, while discussing the recent airstrikes in the Caribbean, quote, criminal proceedings must be open against those officials who are from the U.S., even if it includes the highest ranking official who gave the order, President Trump. So, will the UN pursue this?
I have no idea what that is. Okay, sorry. Oh, the plumber. That's who that is. Okay, sorry. The plumber's here. We had the internet technician here all morning. Now we've got the plumber. I forgot. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Columbia
is pushing for the UN to open criminal proceedings against Trump for ordering the strikes in the Caribbean. Is anything going to come of this?
Please. Jan's asking, when will this nightmare end? When we vote in overwhelming numbers. Wow, it's crazy downstairs. And Boo Boo just vanished. Yeah, the card for the reading is literally. There's the Emperor. It's not like you don't have evidence. but do you have the power? Sun, Five of Pentacles. There are all kinds of heinous things that Trump is doing, but how about going after him for the way he's treating your people?
That part.
The boat thing? I'm not picking up on anything here about the boat thing. I need to close that door. Hang on a second. Okay, that'll be better. All right. Knight of Cups. High Priestess, Justice, but Page of Wands. Should. Won't. I'm sorry, I don't have more. Chris Cole says, Boo will vanish under the blanket or from the room? From the room. If anytime anybody comes in the house, he is.
All right. Norma has a question.
Oh, by the way, Brent says, a man's voice in Autumn's household. Yeah, listen to my dad, yeah. I was going to say, but this morning when the technician was here, guess where Alfie was? Right there, watching, checking all of this out.
Just making sure.
I love these cats so much. All right.
Oh, they're good kitties. All right. At 32, Norma had a question.
Hang on. Sorry. Cindy's asking, this must explain why she stands rather than sits. It has to do with the camera shaking, because any movement on the desk or anything, my camera was on the top of my laptop, the top, but by putting this with two little sucker things going, the little shelf up on the window, then the camera can sit there, but it doesn't fit. There's a sash window and it doesn't fit. Anyway, so if I stand up, I was able to bring my standing desk back in here. The cat can come and go underneath, and the camera doesn't shake.
Very cool. And, added circulation help and stuff, whatnot. That's always cool too.
Yeah, that is true. But that wasn't my first thought.
Yes.
As if in an earthquake. Got it. No, we don't really have earthquakes in Chicago. No, it's a matter of when I do stuff here, the camera will shake. Anyway. Okay.
Oh, all right.
Sorry.
No, you're good. At 33:20, Norma had a question. Jesse Waters on Fox has said some really heinous things about the UN building. That it should be destroyed because of
Jesse Waters on Fox.
There's been zero repercussions. He's literally calling for, and he bombed, gassed, the whole thing. She's wondering if New Yorkers should worry.
Oh. They actually have quite a bit of security there that we don't see.
Right. Yeah.
They're on high alert. Okay. They're not on high alert like they think something is imminent, but they've seen what happens. They know most people are just going about their lives, and they're partnering with local New York people. But they know that America has. Look, it's numbers. the number of people who, let's just say, take their pew-pews for a little walk.
Mm.
There are literal studies on this, and it is literally 5-6 times as many far right as far left. Like, think double digits total over a year for the far left, and 600 and something on the far right.
Yeah.
So they know there's already some fear about being in New York, just even if getting arrested for being foreign.
Yeah.
So there's already a whole lot of tension there. But will somebody try something? We always have to worry about that, but I'm not getting anything specific. There's somebody who's a bigger threat. And I think we know who that is.
All right. At 36:05. Retellings of Voices, Miller has said that the Democratic Party is a domestic extremist organization. What does that mean? Will it affect individual party members? Is this anything that we have to be concerned about?
Is this Keg's breath or Nazi Ferratu?
Nazi Ferratu.
Nazi Ferratu.
And again, once upon a time, it would be like, he can say whatever he wants. But
well, apparently the speech he gave at the Kirk Memorial was like literal quotation out of the 30s. Okay. Look, what Miller wants is not what Miller's going to get. He is in a position of power now, and he wants heinousness. And he wants the government to be behind it. And of course, but not him. The fact that he's Jewish, he's special.
Yeah.
Which is why he's not going to get what he's not going to get what he wants.
Yeah.
And he does not have the power that he thinks he has. And once President Blunderdum is no longer with us, which will happen to every one of us at some point. I'm not wishing that.
Right.
Longtime viewers know I do not want any of these people to be unalived at all. Period. Right. It creates martyrs. It creates more violence. It is bad.
Yes.
I would love to see them go through a fair trial and end up in prison. If it is a fair trial. But anyway.
Thank you, Norma.
Thank you, Norma.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
But once President Blunderdum is gone, Miller might get a slightly rude awakening because Vance has his own.
His own yes men. Yes.
Yeah, he has his own agenda, his own.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going to get to the Hexa thing here just with all the generals here in just a bit. And it's way more than 100 people. But let's move it real quick. We're going to keep going. At 39:20, Pell Grants, which have been used by many to go to college, have been reworked at the Department of Education. And the new grants are proposed to be renamed Trump grants.
So they're going to disappear? So they'll make you bankrupt?
There's major pushback, as you can expect, as you can imagine. Is this going to go through?
Yes. I mean, then changing the names of things, oh, they're all over that.
Well, no, they're putting forward it's a bill to rename it. So it's not, there's a bill being pushed through to rename it. So
the cards are pathetic. It's just like, this is small and pathetic. The Republicans working. There could be but then there's disappointment, and it's all they're very small. The energy is very small. So could it happen? Renaming it? Yeah. Would it make any different? No. So,
sorry, somebody made a comment in the chat about taking needing more Tylenol. My favorite quote through all of this the last few days has been a woman posted. I do not know her name off the top of my head, but I took 2 Tylenol while autistic, and now my husband is pregnant, and I'm amused.
Okay. Makes as much sense as what they're saying.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
4110. Here we go. Again, the segues. Representative Haley Stevens, a Democrat from Michigan, announced this morning on Thursday she would introduce articles of impeachment against RFK Jr. due to the, quote, healthcare chaos. I think she put that mildly, under his watch. Yes. So will this make it to a vote?
If I was in Congress, I'd be like, where do I sign? How quickly can I say yes? Tell me where to be.
Yep.
Yes, I agree, Scott. Tylenol needs to sue.
Yep.
Oh, Norma, all the pumpkins.
Yeah, even Dr. Oz has come up. He's like, Dr. Oz is like, Tylenol's okay, y'all.
Well, he stood up there behind Trump. He was on the right. Articles of impeachment. We're not going to get justice for a while. I hate to say it, I'm sorry. And we're still speaking out, and we're still fighting the good fight in the sense of speaking our minds and creating, some art with some biting wit. It just completely ignored healthcare cups or healthcare. This will cause damage. This is just more misinformation and the kind of, Ivor manipulative stuff that they suggested before. So I don't want YouTube using that as a search anything. It's going to cause a lot of damage, and there's.
Yeah.
You notice that unlike Trump's first term, he hasn't been firing people. Well, he doesn't directly fire anybody, but you notice how
I that in the beginning. He did in the beginning a lot when he first came on. When he fired. Oh, you mean in his cabinet? Yes.
Right. They're just even Keg's breath.
Yeah, you'd have figured he'd have been.
Yeah. So.
It really sucks that all of this is, again, it's not about the Tylenol or the acetaminophen and the paracetamol, wherever you're from.
Acetaminophen.
And an anemone. It's blaming women. Because if it's that, then you could have prevented your child's autism had you not just suffered through. Had you not just, So, and it's really...
You hadn't taken the easy way out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 So, all right, Hegseth. The question you guys have mainly had is coming up. But first, Deb had a question at 44:45. Go ahead.
Sorry. Thank you, Norma. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Deb has a question. Hegseth has asked a decades-old advisory committee on women in the military, saying that it is advancing a divisive feminist agenda.
Of course he is.
Can you say misogyny? He's also saying that it hurts combat readiness.
Of course he is. His own mother came out publicly and talked about how awful he is toward women. What is the question?
Will we see women excluded from the military before this is over with?
Okay. And by the way, if I snapped, it was not at you.
Oh no, I know. You're good.
I think the world of you, my friend.
Well, I love you too, lady. So are we going to go back to women only being like in the typing pool, or, stitching patches on uniforms,
cooking?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is not new, and this is conservatism. This is not new. The misogyny starts at the rot starts at the head, and we know how he treats women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's misogyny. There's also racism. Will play a part. Just give it time.
Mm-hmm.
However, Nine of Cups. It's a woman, and there are lots of cups, and there's lots of voting for Democrats, and there is a King of Cups, which feels like a future president.
Your lips,
please. Yeah. These cards to God's ear. Yes. This heinousness is happening. It is not forever. That is the thing to remember. I have never picked up that we're going to lose our democracy. Now, is it going to be difficult? Yeah, we have got to vote in numbers that they cannot rig, deny, you name it.
Right.
If we do that.
Yeah. All right. At 47:45. Here's the rub, guys. Hegseth has called in military brass and staff. I need to explain this real quick before we go any further. He's called them in from around the world in for a meeting at the Pentagon in person. It has to be in person. Every senior military member that is a brigadier general or above, and their senior staff. Well, you're looking at over 800 senior military members by themselves, generals. He has called them to home, regardless of what combat position you're in. He wants you on a plane heading to DC for a meeting. What is going on? You're muted. Okay. So, yeah. Raw Story and WaPo are all talking about this. It's causing, quote, confusion and alarm at the Pentagon because nobody knows what's going on. The Pentagon's not telling anybody what's going on.
Okay, possible motivations. Restructuring and downsizing leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Agenda setting for a new defense strategy. Consolidating control or signaling authority. I actually don't know that maybe, but emergency or crisis planning, political theater messaging. I'm okay, but let me see what the cards have to say. DL, yes, waste of money. 100%. That's the end. That's the real answer. And suggesting perhaps a loyalty test. And Brianna, yes, because that's safe for national security. Absolutely. Loyalty. Yeah, this is not good militarily. You don't do this. This is bad. This is very bad. Too woke, too many women, the institution is weak, blah, blah, blah. His arguments are pathetic. These are decisions, and there's Trump's base of power. I'm getting loyalty.
Okay.
Let me see what else I can get. Dorinda's saying they're going to get rid of some senior officers. That would make sense too.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that they're probably consolidating to have like super generals or whatnot, like they did back in Germany. Yes.
Super generals?
Yes. Yeah.
Were there really super generals?
In Germany?
Super general. Sorry.
I don't think they were quite called that, but yes. Oh, that is hysterical.
Mariana, it is random, just so you know. Scott's asking martial law. I'm not getting martial law. Oh, firings. If you call them all in, then they're not far flung. They can't consolidate their own power or push whatever. It's like, okay, class, everyone from this row that way, you're all fired.
Yeah, because it's all of their support staff is coming with them. It's the general and all of their support staff. Who's going to be running things? That is insane.
Also, women. What do you think the likelihood is? Because I know that we as a people have some internalized misogyny, which is very sad. So when we think, not everybody, but your knee-jerk reaction might be to think, well, it'd be mostly men. Well, not necessarily. And what do you think the likelihood is that the women are going to get to keep their jobs? Far-right communication, boom. And that makes the institutions shaky. Also, this also feels like getting rid of women. This is nefarious. This is awful. He is heinous.
Yeah.
Bernie, President Blunderdum, from everything I've read on and talked to other readers, he is not the man with the small, ugly mustache reincarnated. The man with the small, ugly mustache has not reincarnated and was better at his job.
I will say this. There was more efficiency.
And they were evil incarnate, but they were snappy dressers. Thank you, Hugo Boss.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have 2 more questions left.
Chris Cool, can the general say no? Nope.
Nope. It's mandatory. All right. Deb brought up something. Democrats and Republicans alike are questioning where the money has gone from the programs that Taco Man has canceled. The money was approved for programs, so where is it? It's come out of people's taxes. Raw Story is reporting that, quote, billions are missing. Where's the money?
Right in the center. Resources. Moving resources. Emperor. Decisions. because there was bad judgment that cut these programs.
Mm-hmm.
Resources moved around. And there's the emperor. So I'm not seeing it here. Unless they're hiding it. Queen of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, Two of Pentacles. Yeah, there's some juggling going on. And it's part of this heinous agenda. But all I'm getting is juggling. Now, would that benefit Dumpster Fire himself? I don't think any of us would be shocked. But the cards I keep getting are...
You know, curtain. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Audio power user saying the generals have been called back to form the AEF, the anti-elevator force. Yes.
All right. For our last question, we're going to end on something remotely positive. Hey. So, a federal judge ruled yesterday that Trump's attempt to bully states into cooperating with his administration's anti-immigrant crackdowns by conditioning emergency aid and disaster aid upon such cooperation is unconstitutional. You can't withhold their money because they won't let you do what you want. No. So obviously he's going to go. He's going to run to SCOTUS. It's what he does. So that's cute.
We love a good dad joke here.
Yeah, absolutely. Will this stand?
I love the art.
That's good art. Somebody also noted that that's why he wasn't raptured, because his escalator got stuck.
Oh, even the escalator was like, you're not going up anywhere.
You're not going up there.
No, you're not even going up like from here to here, let alone.
Like the Obama didn't get stuck on an escalator. You're absolutely correct, Becca.
Well, we have happy families here, which is good. Insult, injury. Yeah, that said, nope. The face covering is an issue too. The racism, but this is all the Democrats in just going, nope. Now, will the Supreme Court side with him? Kim's asking, are they going to fire Hegseth? After everything he's done, he's still there?
Yeah.
And frankly...
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. And frankly, if he does what I'm afraid he's going to do in the Pentagon, Trump's going to say good. So I don't have the Supreme Court here. This puts Dumpster Fire back on is on the defensive, actually they're trying to stir up trouble.
All right.
I'm not sure what that is. Two of Pentacles, shaky ground, 10 of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, arguing in front, but I don't have major arcana here. So it may take a while.
Okay. Veronica, we meant dad jokes in general. We were not implying. No, God, no. And then Becca noted that Becca Yeah.
No. Yeah, I meant. Yeah.
Not today, Satan. Yes.
Nope. Nope. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely.
And I really wanted to use this because we just need to take some time to just relax.
Yes.
To read a book and just take some moments to breathe. We are going to get through this. And it's very, very important to remember that. All right. So it is 1:12 p.m. here in Chicago and in Shreveport.
Mm-hmm.
At 3 o'clock, we will both be over on the Creative Sprints channel. You're always welcome. Links in the description. We work on our projects, whatever they are, and we just encourage each other. So you've got great community here. You've got great community there. So, and other than that, I will be right back here tomorrow because I'm here every day. Oh, I just saw. Oh, Amy is saying, can you do another episode like yesterday's? Oh my goodness, it did not get good ratings, and there were a lot of people who were like, "That voice is like nails on a chalkboard." I know, but I do silly stuff. I do various silly stuffs just as the spirit, as they come to me, as the spirit moves me. So there will be more. Thank you, I appreciate that. Anyway. So please hang in there and know you're not alone. You're not. Mm-hmm. And that we're in this together. And there are good days ahead.
Absolutely.
All right. And I'm sure there will be silliness in the future from me. That is, this Sagittarius stellium. Amy's saying you stayed in character the entire time. Yeah, I tend to do that, especially with Halloween, too.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of freaked people out that the time I went as a Gothic heroine.
That was cool. Yes.
It was cool, but boy, there were some people who were like, okay, this is really creepy. Blink twice. So I'm glad you liked it. Oh, and by the way, Halloween is coming, and I know what my costume's going to be.
I don't even know, guys. It's a surprise for me too.
All right. So hang in there. Yeah, Valley, the Gothic heroine episode. Yes. All right. Take care, and we'll see you later. Yes. All right. Okay. Bye.